When I started playing Ghost Recon 3, I didn't really see what the big deal was. I didn't see what made this different from any other video game. I mean, the government drops you and 3 of your buddies in this Mexican city, and all you do is walk around and talk to the townspeople, maybe even talk to someone on your cross-comm. I mean, they could have added a lot of great things. Son of a bitch! Okay, maybe I was a little bit wrong. Hey, this is Chris Phillips here to do a video review of Ghost Recon Advanced War for the Xbox 360. Ghost Recon Advanced Wars is the 3rd installment in the Ghost Recon series. Obviously, this is the first one on the Xbox 360. And that being said, this is a beautiful game, even on the Xbox 360, where you kind of start to expect to see these kind of graphics, but everything is beautifully textured. The setting for the majority of the game is Mexico City, and they really took the time to nail the feel of the city. Sometimes I'll even stop when I'm playing the game and all of a sudden I'm just kind of noticing how the light is reflecting off the windows and real time reflecting off the windshield of the cars. It's really a testament to the power of the Xbox 360 and what you can do with it. I'm not going to give anything away to the plotline of the story, but for the majority of the game you're going to be moving through missions. It's almost, you got to this checkpoint, now move on to the next checkpoint. Okay, you got to this checkpoint, now move on to the next checkpoint. Pick up this weapon, blow up this tank, move on to the next checkpoint. Which isn't really a bad thing because they really do break up what you're doing in between these checkpoints. As an example, every now and then you'll get control of an APC, and this helps you in 2 ways. A, it's a huge weapon, and B, it's an even bigger shield, so you can command it to slowly move down the streets as you hide behind it. The gunner will be shooting, you'll have 4 guys shooting, and you can absolutely take out, annihilate huge enemy groups. The other great thing the campaign mode does for you is it really never takes you out of the game. When you complete a mission, you'll usually get into a helicopter, and the great thing is they'll debrief you and then brief you on your next mission as you're flying to it. And one of the funnest things about the game is when you can take control of the Blackhawk's chain gun. And out of respect to this part of the game, I'm not going to call it a mini-game because at times it can be really difficult because the gun will overheat on you and you really have to be smart about when you shoot and what you're shooting at. But in the end, there's nothing really more fun than mowing down 5 terrorists with a chain gun and a Black Hawk helicopter. If you're like me, you'll spend most of your time in the multiplayer mode of Ghost Recon Advanced War, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Ghost Recon Advanced War has a very robust multiplayer mode. It does include a lot of the standard shooter multiplayer modes, including Team Deathmatch, Team Survival, Team Objective games, including Capture the Flag and other games like that. But what sets Ghost Recon apart from other online shooters is the co-op modes you can play. Now there are 4 campaign co-op missions that can be played with up to 16 players. And these campaign missions are completely different from anything you will play in the single player mode of this game. Obviously there are a lot more enemies you have to face. These enemies are a little more difficult than the single player enemies. They employ tactics to kind of bait your team into a hot zone. I mean, they're ruthless in every single way, which is extremely challenging, and what makes the mode extremely fun. It's more of a military simulation. There'll be plenty of times where, like, God, these guys I'm fighting, they feel more like actual players, not computer bots. The frame rate of the game held up pretty well in the multiplayer mode. There was not a lot of lag issues when I was playing the game, whether it be a 4-person, 8-person, or 16-person game. There wasn't a really game type I saw that kind of slowed down any of the gameplay at all. Everything was pretty much solid. I gotta give Ubisoft credit for putting out a solid multiplayer title. In the end, I kind of feel this game falls a little bit short of being that must-have app for the Xbox 360. Although I'm a person that seems to be more of the Rainbow Six fan, other than the Ghost Recon fan, this is still a great shooter on the Xbox 360. Probably the best shooter on the Xbox 360. I'm going to have to rate it a little bit higher than Perfect Dark Zero. If you're a shooter fan and you have the Xbox 360, you should definitely take a look at this game. You may want to rent it to see if it's your cup of tea, but definitely take a look at it because it's probably the best shooter out there.
Use cover! Multiple hostiles located!